Ornaments, it's Iain from RDO here. Welcome to Friday, which means it's a live album ranking, and we're doing one today that has been in work of art. This has taken me a long time to put together because it's the Gary Numan live album ranking. Gary Anthony James Webb, his full name, musician, the man that sort of gave synthesizers its first sounds, Tube Boy Army, then a list of great solo albums and 26 live albums. So today we're just going to, I won't be doing like normal because we'll be here forever, but I should just tell you the song out tracks that are on some of the albums, and when we get nearer to the top 10 I'll start telling you what albums are from on, because we'll be here forever. So this will be a bit different. So coming in at number 26, an album that was released in 1989, recorded in 1988, and it was recorded on his Metal Rhythm tour, and it's The Skin Mechanic. So Gary Numan, Russ and Bell on guitar, Andy Cogland on bass, Chris Payne on keyboards and violin, Aid Orange on keyboards and sax, Cedric Sharpley drums, John Webb miming saxophone, got Val Chambers and Emma Chambers on the vocals. So I'll tell you, so Survival is the opening track. Now that is actually a B-side of This Is Love, and then we've got Call of the Dogs, Cars, of course, Nick's favourite song, Hunger from Metal Rhythm, Down in the Park, it's just classic, that is, from Replicas, New Anger, Creatures, Our Friends Electric, Young Heart, We Are Glass, one of my favourite singles, I Die You Die and I Can't, Stop from Strange Farm. I'm not a big fan of this one, actually. It's because they changed all the arrangements of the classics, and they just didn't sound right. So, I mean, it's a great show, but so I'm going to give that a RTO ranking of 5 out of 10. Coming in at number 25, recorded at the Hammersmith Odeon, or the Apollo, whatever they want to call it, and it's Dream Corrosion, that was released in 1994. It's Gary Numan's on here, Richard Beasley, Aid Orange, John Webb, Kipper, TJ Tavis. So you got Mission intro, little intro, and it goes into Machine and Soul from the Machine and Soul album, of course, and then Outland. Me, I get to Disconnect From You from Replicas, brilliant. We Are So Fragile, which is the B-side of Our Friends Electric, cool track, it's great live. Respect. You got Shame, written by Gary Numan and Nick Beggs. Films from Pleasure, Principle. Dream Killers on here. Down in the Park, stable track on his live albums. My World Storm, The Macman from Replicas, Generator, Noise, which is the B-side for Music for Chameleons. Cars is on here, Voice, You're My Vision, Replicas. It Must Have Been Years. That's Too Bad from the Tube Boy Army album, brilliant. Remind Me to Smile from Telekon's on here. I Am an Agent, same album. Our Friends Electric, My Breathing, I Don't Believe You, which is the B-side of New Anger from 1988. The Bombers, the single from 1978, brilliant to see that live. Joe the Waiter and We Are Class. There's so many different versions of Our Friends Electric. Keeps it relevant, and that it's a good concert as usual. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 5.5. Okay, coming in at number 24. Now this came out in 2017, and it's live at the Hammersmith Odeon 1989, recorded on the 26th of October of that year. This one opens up with America from Metal Rhythm. It's brilliant. Me, I disconnect from you from Replicas is on that. Creatures, another good track. Cars, Down in the Park, classics. Devious, I Can't Stop, Our Friends Are Electric, Call Out the Dogs, and We Are Glass. It's a very short little album, but it's got some great tracks on it. And I'm going to give that one an RTO ranking of 6 out of 10. Okay, coming in number 23. Recorded in Manchester at the Ritz in 2011, released in 2012. It's Big Noise Transmission, and this was a CD of an exclusive fan club release. It's actually on Spotify, which is pretty cool. And there's a DVD of this, so I may do that on Big Mix one day. Gary Numan, Richard Beasley, Priestley, Aid Fenton, Tim Muddy, and Steve Harris on bass. Not the Steve Harris, another Steve Harris. And there's my phone. So this one opens from Dead Sun Rising. We've got a little bit of Resurrection, Down in the Park, another song from the Dead Sun Rising, The Fall, Haunted from Jagged's on here, When the Skies Bleed, that's from Dead Sun. Films, Big Noise Transmission, Pure, really good version of that live, much better than the studio, I think. Dead Sun Rising itself, Every Day I Die from the Tubeway Army, We Are Lost, another for Dead Sun Rising, Absolution from the Exile, For the Rest of My Life from the Dead Sun album, Noise Noise, which is a track on the Exhibition compilation, Everything Comes Down to This, Splinter, which is a great album, it's a great version, Love it. Jagged's on here, I Die, You Die, Cars, My Shadow in Vain, and Our Friends Electric end this album. Solid. The guitars sound really heavy on this. I love the tracks off the Dead Sun Rising album, much better than in the studio actually. It's a good album, and then you got songs. He premieres a song off Splinter on this tour, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.2. Okay, coming in at number 22, I've put these together. It's Fragment 104 and Fragment 204, released in 2005, and it was recorded at the Birmingham Academy in 2004. So it's two concerts, it's near enough the same set, so I'll just go through the tracks that are on both albums. So we got Rip from Pure, brilliant stuff. Noise Noise, B-side and the track on the 7-inch single of Music for Chameleons. Voix, Metal Rhythm, Remind Me to Smile from Telekon, My Jesus from Pure's on this one. Haunted, Down in the Park, oh, I just love that. Ancients from Hybrid. Replicas is on here. Jagged, Listen to My Voice, Dead in Heaven, Our Friends Electric, We Are Glass, A Prayer for the Unborn, which is a brilliant track live. My Shadow in Vain, the classic. Fade Out, which is 1930, which is it's on an album called The Plan, which is a compilation. It's off an aborted Tubeway Army album. I Die, You Die, and then the other ones on Fragment 2 that he didn't do on Fragment 1. Crazier from Hybrid, Cars, The Mac Man, It Must Have Been Years, and Joe the Waiter. Very good performance. I don't know why we had to have the two. Why didn't he just put one album and put all the tracks on one album? But it's still a great little album. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6.3. Okay, coming in at number 21, released in 1995, and it is Dark Light, recorded at the Bats Hammersmith Apollo in 1994. This one opens up with a little intro called Pray from Sacrifice, and then we have A Question of Faith, so they go in together lovely. I Dream of Wires, great track off Telekon. Noise Noise is on here again. Listen to the Sirens from the Tubeway Army's on here. Every Day I Die, bringing in some classics here. Desire from Sacrifice, Friends, brilliant track. Scar, Magic from Sacrifice, Playing to the Aliens from Replicas, great to hear that live. Replicas itself. Then we have Stormtrooper in Drag, which is a brilliant track. I love that track. Deadliner from Sacrifice, Bleed from Sacrifice, The Dream Police, He loves how he pulls these off the Tube by Army albums. Brilliant stuff. The Hunter, Berserker, Remind Me to Smile, of course, Our Friends Electric, Do You Need This Service, and Replicas sort of era. Love and Napalm from Sacrifice, Joe the Waiter, I love that track. And this one ends up, I Am an Agent. I think this is a good album. Now, the 90s albums sound much better live. They've got more atmosphere to them. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6.5. Okay, coming in at number 20. Recorded in 2012 on the Music Machine tour at the Dome in Brighton. Music Machine Live. This opens up with Hyde and Berserker. Brilliant start to this one. Metal from the Pleasure Principle. Always love to hear that. The Falls on here. Bombers, one of the first singles is on here. Crazier from Hybrid. Call Out the Dogs from The Fury. Dominant Day Exile. This Wreckage is on this. Great song. Absolution. And That's Too Bad, which was the Tube by Army debut single from 1978. Great to hear that, and it sounds really good. In a Dark Place from Jagged. It's classic Down in the Part. Rip. Love Needs No Disguise, which was from the Future Reference Expanded Edition. Warriors is on here. I Die You Know, We Are Glass. Healing, which is from Aid Fenton and Gary Numan album. It was released in 2007. Cars and Our Friends and Legend. This is probably one of the hardest live album rankings I've had to do, because another great section of songs. They're all very good, so this one's going to get an RTO ranking of 6.6. Okay, coming in at number 19, recorded at the Forum on the 18th of March 2006, Jagged Live. So you get the whole of Jagged, which is Pressure, Fold, Halo, Slave, In a Dark Place, Haunted, A Blind, Before I Hate You, Melt, Scanner and Jagged. I think this is better than the actual studio version. It's a terrific. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 6.7. Okay, coming in at number 18, Decoder, recorded in Australia at the Empire Theatre, Sydney, 2009. So this opens up with we've got 3 tracks from Jagged. We've got In a Dark Place, Blind, and then he does Cars, and then back to Haunted. Pleasure from the Pleasure Principle. Films, Rips on here, Pure's on here. My Jesus from Pure. Metal from the Pleasure Principle. Jagged, Down in the Park. Great tracks. Halo, A Prayer for the Unborn. I love that. Our Friends Electric. We're So Fragile, the B-side song. Pressure, Noise, I Can't Breathe. Once again, Gary comes up trumps. Great take to the show to the Australian fans, and those seem to really enjoy it, and especially the older songs. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 6.8. Okay, coming in at number 17 from 2016, Here in Black, live at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery. This opens up from a great track from Splinter, I Am Dust. Metal's on this one. Everything Comes Down to Down from the Splinter album. Brilliant track. It's brilliant live as well. The Fall, probably one of the best versions of that song. Here in Black from Splinter. Brilliant stuff. Films from the Principle. The Call In from Splinter. Down in the Park's on here, Splinter itself. Dead Sun Rising's on here. A Shadow That Falls on Me. Another song from Splinter. Lost. When the Sky Bleeds, He Will Come. Another track from Splinter, We're the Forgiven. Love Her Bleed from Splinter. Pure. Then we go into the classics. Cars, I Die You Die. Our Friends Electric. And it ends up with My Last Day. Excellent album. I love the stuff off the Splinter album on there. I love the Splinter album anyway, but the older, and it's mixed well with the older stuff on there, so I shall give this one an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. It's time for a sip of coffee. Oh dear. go. So coming in at number 16, released in 1988, and it was recorded at the Hammersmith Odeon in 1987 during the exhibition tour, which was the compilation album that came out that year, Exhibition, and it's called Ghost. On here we got Ghost, Call Out the Dogs, I Die You Die, brilliant, Creatures from the Fury, I Can't Stop, Strange Charm, Me, I Disconnect from You's on this one. We have Tricks from the Fury, The Sleep Room from Charm, lovely to hear that live, My Breathing from Strange Charge, Cars, then we got Metal, Sister Surprise and Warrior, brilliant stuff, This Disease, We Take a Mystery to Bed from I Assassin, great to hear that live, We Are Glass, Our Friends Electric, Down in the Park, brilliant, one of my favourite tracks from Replicas, My Shadow in Vain, Berserker, brilliant album this is. I just love, this is just one of those great concert albums, so I'm going to give that one an RTO ranking of 7.2. Okay, coming in at number 15, live at the Shepherd's Bush Empire in 2000, released in 2004 and recorded in 1997. Get a little introduction, they go straight into Down in the Park, brilliant. Dominium Day from Exiles on here, Friends from Tube by Army, the films, classics, A Question of Faith from Sacrifice, really good version of that on here, Voix from Metal Rhythm, Every Day I Die, Dark from Exiles on here, You Want My Soul from Sacrifice, Noise, An Alien Cure, Cars, Absolutions on here, Dead Heaven from Exile, Metal, Bleed from Sacrifice, Our Friends Electric, We're So Fragile, which is great, they play the A side and then the B side. In between he just introduces the band, so that's pretty cool. Joe the Waiter ends this one. Excellent live album. It's got my favourite live versions of Cars and Our Friends Electric on here because the crowd are brilliant. And the brilliant songs off Exile sound good, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.3. Okay, coming in at number 14, Hope Bleeds, released in 2004. Recorded at the Manchester Academy in 2003. This one opens up with Hybrid. Pretty cool. Pure Films, Rip, Metal. Can't go wrong with them classics. The Air Crash Bureau from Telekon, great track. Dark, Crazier, Jagged, My Jesus, Down in the Park, The Complex from the Principal, Bleed from Sacrifice, I Can't Breathe, A Pair from the Unborn, a track that seems to always appear at the end of each concert these days. My Breathing, Ancients, Absolution, My Shadow in Vibes, Our Friends Electric, really good album. The sound and production on this is really good. It feels like that Gary's actually playing in your living room, so I'm going to give that one an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, coming in at number 13, released in 2007, and it's the complete John Peel sessions that he did on his show, recorded at Maida Vale Record Studios. First session from 79, 3 tracks off Replicas, I Did Disconnect from You, Down in the Park, and I Nearly Married a Human. 1979 May, got 4 songs off The Pleasure Principle, Cars, Airlane, Films and Conversation. Then we move on to 2001, and he does Rip from Pure, Metal from The Pleasure Principle, and Pure, My Jesus from Pure's Cars, Listen to My Abuse from Pure, a lot of Pure on here, I Can't Breathe, Down in the Park, and A Prayer for the Unborn. A really good session. You know, he's got all the early stuff and the more modern, up to date. A really good listen. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 7.6. Coming in at number 12, released in 1985, recorded on the White Noise tour. The White Noise album recorded in 1984 on the last show of the Berserker tour. So on here we've got an intro, Berserker, one of the best versions I've got of that on live. Metal, May I Disconnect From You, Remind Me to Smile from Telekon's on here. Sister Surprise again from Warriors. Music for Chameleons, I love that from My Assassin. The Iceman Comes, Cold Warning from Berserker, Down in the Park. The Prison Moon from Warriors, great to hear, have that live. I Die You Die. My Die Machine from Berserker, which is better than the studio version. Cars, We Take a Mystery to Bed from My Assassin. We Are Glass, This Is New Love, Shadowing by Our Friends Electric. Really good. Some of the tracks off Berserker sound fantastic on here. Another really good album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.7. Okay, coming in at number 11. Recorded in 2000 at the Brixton Academy. It's just called Live at Brixton Academy. Scarred. Little intro, goes straight into Pure. Then we have Me Disconnected From You from Replicas. These Angel Wars from Exile, another track from Pure, My Jesus. And we've got Films, Magic from Sacrifice, Rip from Pure, Cars, Metal, The Little Invite Vertro from Pure, Down in the Park, this wreckage is on here. Dead Heaven, I Can't Breathe, Our Friends Electric, A Prayer for the Unborn, Listen to My Voice, and Replicas, Observer. Nice to hear that one out from the Pleasure Principle. And Dance, which is an album outtake, tracks from the Pleasure Principle. Into the new millennium, and still Gary is putting out high quality albums live and studio. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. So top 10. This was recorded in 2014 at Hammersmith. Eventim Apollo now. It's the Odeon, for God's sakes. And it's Obsession. And it's the final show of the Splinter tour. So it starts off with Resurrection from Dead Sun Rising. A track from Splinter. Everything comes down to this. The brilliant May I Disconnect From You from Splinter. I Am Dust. Another really good track. The Metal, great track. Berserker's on here. The Calling from Splinter. Films. Hearing the Black from Splinter. We Are So Fragile. Probably one of my favourite B-sides. The Fall from Dead Sun Rising. Dead Sun Rising itself. Down in the Park. Pure. Cars. Splinter. I Die For You. What a great run. We're Unforgiven from Splinter. We Are Glass. Love, Hurt, Bleed from Splinter. My Last Day, Joe the Waiter, A Prayer for the Unborn, and then Our Friends Electron. This is the best of the modern era live albums. It's quite heavy in places. This is a brilliant live album. I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8.2. Okay, coming at number 9, Savage, live at the Brixton Academy, recorded in 2017, released 2018. This has got Persia Newman on the vocals with Gary, his daughter. And the first track is a track from Savage, of course. Ghost Nation, brilliant track. Metal, The Fall. I Am an Agent, always great to hear this. Bed of Thorns from Savage, love that track. Dead Sun Rising, Down in the Park, of course. Pray for the Pain You Serve from Savage. Hearing Black from Splinter. Back to the Savage album for Mercy. Love, Hurt, Bleed from Splinter. My Name Is Ruin from Savage. Cars, When the World Comes Apart from Savage. Prayer for the Unborn, and Films, and Our Friends Electric. Really good album. I love Persia's backing vocals on this, so I shall give this an RTO ranking of 8.4. Okay, coming in at number 8. Now this was a limited edition to 3,000 copies, but I found it on YouTube, which was a joy. And it's called Engineers, and it's recorded in 1980 in Australia. It's from the Pleasure Principle tour. So these are all classics. You got the introduction, the theme from Replicas, brilliant. You've got Airlane from the Pleasure Principle. May I Disconnect You? Praying for the Aliens. Me. Films, We're So Fragile. Our Friends Election. Conversation. Remind Me to Smile. Replicas. Remember I Was Vapor from Telekon. Brilliant that is. And then we got Troy Giminipites. Cars, I Die You Die. Bombers. Tracks. I love these early recordings. I think this is an excellent album. It's a little gem of a recording that I'm glad that I found. And I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.5. Okay, coming in at number 7. Recorded at the Forum in 2006. And it's Telekon Live. The whole album, including the B-sides and all that. So you get This Wreckage, Remind Me to Smile, I Dream of Wires, Telekon, The Aircraft Bureau, Photographs, Sleep by Windows, Please Push No More, Remember I Was Vapor, I Am Agent, and We Are Glasses on here, The Joy Circuit, a game called Echo, which was actually one of the tracks that was left off Telekon, I Die You Die, Down in the Park, and Replicas, just to finish the show. Telekon is a great album and it's brilliant live. I love it when he does all these whole albums, not in the running on about everything that they did from that era is on there. So I'm going to give that an RTO ranking of 8.6. Coming in at number 9, another album that's do the whole way through, and this is Replicas Live, recorded in Manchester on Gary Numan's birthday in 2008. So you get all the stuff again. You get Replicas may disconnect from you. Do You Need This Survey, which is the B-side of Down in the Park. Praying to the Aliens. We have a technical outtakes from the Replica sessions. That one's from I Nearly Married a Human, Down in the Park, The Crazies, When Machines Rock, Only a Downside, another track off the Replica sessions. The Macman, It Must Have Been Years, We're So Fragile, You're in My Vision, and Our Friends Electric. Then they give Cars, Every Day a Day from Dubai Army, and A Prayer from the Unborn. Love this album again. Replicas, one of my favourites, and they sang Happy Birthday to Gary, so I shall give that an RTO ranking of 8.7. Number 5, again, The Pleasure Principle Live, recorded in 2009. So you get Random, Airlane, Metal, Films, ME, Tracks, Observer, Conversation, Complex, Cars, Engineers, Asylum, which was the B-side, of course, of Cars. Then they do a couple of tracks off the modern albums, The Fall, Dead Runs, Rising Pure. But then we have Down in the Park and Jagged, Haunted and Halo, and Jagged itself, Our Friends Electric, We're So Fragile, and A Prayer from the Unborn. Phenomenal live album again. It's great to hear the whole of Pleasure Principle. So I shall give this one an RTO ranking of 8.8. Okay, coming in at number 4 now. This is a brilliant album, and it was recorded at the Bridgewater Hall in Manchester in 2019. This came out in 2020, and it's called When the Sky Came Down, and it's in coming with a Scaparis orchestra. So you've got an orchestra on stage with Gary, and Persia is on this as well. So it opens up with Replicas, brilliant with the orchestra, Ghost Nation from Savage, Metal from the Pleasure Principle, Bed of Thorns from Savage, Films from the Pleasure Principle, Everything Comes to This, Splinter, another great track, Pray for the Pain You Serve from Savage, Down in the Park, Broken, Splinter, Here in the Black, My Name is Ruin, Jagged, Mercy, Our Friends Electric, This Wreckage, The End of Things, and A Prayer for the Unborn, and It Will End Here. This is a phenomenal album. Gary's band played well, and Skipperis orchestra having these orchestral interpretations gives it an extra dimension. I love playing this. I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. Top 3. We're going into some classics here. Coming in at number 3. It was released in 1988, but it's from 1981, and it's called Living Ornaments. recorded at the Wembley Arena. It was supposed to be his farewell concerts. So this opens up with an intro and goes straight into this wreckage from Telekon. Remind Me to Smile, brilliant version there. Metal, May I Disconnect From You, Complex, all absolute classics. This is the Air Crash Bureau, Airlane, ME, Every Day I Die, Films, Remember When I Was Viper, the Troy Gimnemipites first movement, which was actually the B-side of We Are Glass. The Pleasure Principles on here. She's Got Claws from Dance. I love that track. Cars, I Dream of Wires, I Am an Agent. The Joy Circuit, I Die You Die. The Cry the Clock Said from Dance, brilliant track. Tracks, Down in the Park, Shadow in the Vein, Please Push Me No More, Our Friends Electric, We Are Glass. A flawless album. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 9.3. Coming in at number 2 is another Living Ornaments 1979 version, now released in 81, recorded at the Hammersmith Odeon in 79. So this one opens up with Airlane from the Pleasure Principle that goes straight into Cars, We're So Fragile. Films, Something in the House from Dubai Army, lovely to hear that live. My Shadow in Vain, Conversation, The Dream Please from Dubai Army, Metal. Short album but brilliant. So I shall give this one an RTO ranking of 9.5. But my favourite live album, my number one live album from Gary Numan, Living Ornaments 80, recorded in 1981, released in 1981, sorry, and from Hammersmith Odeon in 1980. It's got Roger Mason, Cedric Sharpley, Chris Payne, Paul Gardner and Russell Bell, basically Dubai Army people. And this one opens up with this wreckage, absolutely brilliant. I Die You Die, the single. ME from the Pleasure Principle, Every Day I Die from Dubai Army. A fantastic version of Down in the Park, Gary's on Fire. Remind Me to Smile, the Joy Circuit from Telekon. Tracks, Our Friends Electric, We Are Glass. These may be short albums, but it's just got some of the best versions of these songs from that period where it was just classic. The sound's great. I love listening to these or Living in Ornament albums, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.6. So there we go. I know there's at least 2 people that will be delighted with this one. That's Nick and Richard in America. They're both big humanoid fans. So yeah, I've really enjoyed listening to all these. It's the first time I've ever listened to all his live albums. It's taken me months because of all the other stuff I listen to. This is one that it's been work in progress for about 3 months, and I've really enjoyed this. Anyway, coming up next, we've got 2 new live albums. The first one we're going to do is the from Skunk Anise, and it's the I think it's called The Painful Truth, and Sparks and their album Mad. So join me for that. Bye for now.